Thought markers. Admit it, you envy me for being so marvelous and incomparable while you are absurd and quite awkward. You may envy me, but I won't allow you to envy others. Work on yourself. But first, let's review the last lesson. When you imagine a new version of your life, you're tapping into the film roll, selecting a different future timeline. When you start acting like your future self, you're working with the mirror, reshaping the reflection that reality sends back to you. In both cases, the key is to activate your plate and speak your intentions with clarity. Stay open to fresh insights and start moving through the world as the version of you that you're stepping into. At the same time, make real, tangible improvements in your physical life. When you combine all three layers, mental, energetic, and physical, even your appearance and presence can transform in ways that seem impossible. Before we talk about how to change the design you've been developing since your embryonic stage, let's pause for a quick reminder. I once told you to come up with your own thought forms, ones that suit your style and mood. But let's be honest, your mind doesn't actually invent anything new, not in the way that you think. It doesn't build from nothing. What it does is it tunes into and reads information depending on how your awareness is directed. Have you forgotten what you are? You're not some original creator sculpting from clay. You're a film character picking up a script. Your brain has three main jobs. First, it helps you perceive your surroundings. Second, it interprets what you perceive. But the third job is less known. It tunes to the settings of your state, your memories, your thoughts, and your mental condition. Despite what people believe, your brain does not create your thoughts or store memories like a hard drive. It works more like a radio or television. When you remember something, your brain tunes into an information block stored in what's called the eternity archive, a kind of universal storage field. When you think, it scans information from the field and channels it into a mental stream. In short, your memories and thoughts aren't inside your brain, they exist in the information space. Your brain just accesses them. Depending on your personality and your life situation, you might see yourself as lucky and attractive or as unlucky and unattractive. That self-perception is called your condition. When your inner state matches how you see yourself, your outer reality, your design, adjusts to stay in sync. If the two don't match, your design shifts to correct the mismatch. That means that your self-image literally reshapes your reality over time. So even if your original blueprint was average or unlucky, you can still transform from an overlooked outsider to a shining star, or the other way around if you aren't careful. Here's the real question. Can you control how your inner state syncs with your outer reality? Most people don't. They drift through life unconsciously, stuck in the current frame, hoping things just work out. Sometimes they get lucky and rise, sometimes they sink. Either way, it's random. But you, my darling, are different. You're not just waiting, you're remaking yourself. You're setting a new reality and aligning with the new version of you. Still, just saying affirmations and pretending isn't full synchronization yet. At first, you're just playing the part. You haven't fully stepped into it. But we're gonna keep going. Eventually, reality catches up. You shift to a new life circumstance, take on a new version of yourself, and start seeing changes, real changes. At that point, it clicks and you truly become that new version. That's when the shift becomes real. Once you've truly stepped into your new state of being, when it is no longer an act, but your lived reality, something subtle but powerful happens. Your affirmations stop feeling like hope and they become obvious truths. What began as a thought form like, I'm creating a new reality, turns into a thought marker, which sounds like, I am living a new reality. When you achieve this new state of being, your thought forms will be transformed into thought markers, which can sound like, it turns out that I do compose my own reality. My intention really does work. I really am occupying a new mannequin. These thought markers aren't wishes or commands, they're statements of what already is. They don't seek evidence, they are the evidence. They're like bookmarks in the film of your life, marking where your transformation became real. This is the difference between saying, I'm becoming confident, and simply knowing, I am. One is effort, the other is embodiment. Thought forms like affirmations are useful, but they come with a catch. They're trying to convince you of something that has not happened yet, and if we're honest with ourselves, you can say something over and over and over again, but if you don't fully believe it, it won't carry much power. That's why affirmations often feel like you're faking it, because you actually are. They work best in the beginning, just to kind of get your engine started, get it running. But the moment you see real results, even tiny ones, that's when the shift happens. Now you can say, it's happening. This is real. That is a thought marker, not a wish, a witness. And that moment of recognition, that confirmation, sinks you to a new timeline far more powerfully than any repeated affirmation ever could. So, start with thought forms, sure, but pay attention to your results, and when they come, mark them, own them, say, this is working, because that's when the real magic locks in. When your progress becomes visible, even just a little, that's your cue. At that moment, something clicks. You're no longer imagining the goal, you're living inside the version of it. That's when outer intention starts helping you and your internal condition syncs with the new design. Here's how it formally breaks down. Thought forms are what you use to compose the new reality, and thought markers are what you use to confirm the changes and lock them in. So, once you notice any kind of improvement, don't just celebrate, mark it. Activate your plate and say something like, every day I really am getting closer to my goal. I'm handling things better. I see my skills improving. Or I actually feel stronger and more fit. Or people are reacting differently to me. I must be becoming more magnetic. These aren't just sort of motivational quotes, they're alignment lockers. They tell the mirror, yes, it's real now. And the mirror responds with more. Aha, you're finally starting to get it. The thought form was your little training reel, and the marker, that's you riding with no hands. But of course, you'll forget. You'll go back to chanting affirmations like a parrot hoping to become a peacock. And go ahead, repeat it one more time. I am abundant, I am radiant, I am confused. Darling, snap out of it. When the reality shows up, mark it, stamp it, say it's working, not because you need to believe it, but because it's already happened. Otherwise, keep squawking your empty spells, hoping the mirror throws you a bone, or worse, a reflection of your doubt. Your choice, snails. Confirmation or confusion, the mirror doesn't care, but I do, because I adore watching the drama.